Welcome. We are live, and we will wait for a few people to jump in. Um, I did 10 of the drafters $3.30 splashes, or I did 11 of them. You do 10, you get a free ticket. And I put 33 in, ended up cashing out for it was 198 for the contest. I placed with 5 lineups. 3 lineups men cashed, got 1/50th out of 3,300, and I got one that was 7th overall. The 7th overall lineup is right here. And by the way, congratulations to Big Draft Energy, who got 2nd. That is awesome for BDE. Let's see what he done first. What's up, Hulk? Thanks for popping in. So he had Lamar, CMC, Derrick Henry, Brian Thomas, Puka, Zay Flowers, Trey McBride, and James Cook. Just an awesome lineup there. And he was still 10 points away from first. First, he had Josh Allen instead of Lamar, basically. CMC, HN, Puka, JSN, Egbuka. Scrolled down for Egbuka. The George Kittle, Derrick Henry. We'll move on down to my lineup. I lost a parlay on the Bills winning the game. If the Bills lost the game, I turned $10 into 150. But Josh Allen scoring at the end turned this into the 150, basically, that I would have got the other way. So it was kind of like if they would have missed the 2-point conversion, or if they would have not got the ball back, I would have won on both. That would have been the best case scenario. But my team I had Bijan 101, and I full faded Joe Burrow, and I also partially faded. I had no Gibbs shares because I had Achane above. I had Achane and Gibbs rated basically the same, and Gibbs always went at the 4-5 or the 5-6 turn. So I didn't end up with a share, and I will probably do something similar. We'll talk about that game tomorrow with Steve. But I had Josh Allen, and you can look at the draft board. So the quarterbacks get pushed a lot on this site. I got Bijan at 3, HN, Josh Allen all the way down here, Puka, Trey McBride at 18, Kamara at 23. These are 5-man pods. Ted McMillan, Zay Flowers. So Josh Allen, Bijan, HN, Puka, Tet, Zay. The only share of Zay I had in the contest, luckily it came on the right team. I specifically did that because I was hoping to get Derrick Henry, but he went there because I really that was the earliest I'd seen Derrick Henry go. So I ended up with the bring back. Since I got Josh Allen, I got the bring back, and Ted McMillan had a solid game as well. So could turn into kill me now, depending on Jordan Mason tonight. Got it. What's up, Dark Side? Harbaugh not trusting Lamar on 4th down cost me money. Yep, that's exactly what it was. The fact that, the whole way that game went, the Bills deciding to punt the ball on a 4th and 8 or whatever, whenever they hadn't stopped the Ravens offense the entire game. And then they actually stopped the offense for the first time for the entire game. That decision shouldn't have worked out. It did. And then 4th and 1 or 2, having Lamar and Derrick Henry and not going for it. Yes, they're in field goal range to win the game if you miss, but you play as a Famous head coach once said, "You play to win the game, right? You don't play to not let the other team win. You play to win." And the best way for them to win the game was to secure that first down against an offense like that. If they were against the Saints, probably punt the ball. Not against, you don't do that against KC. You don't do that against Buffalo. You don't do that against Philadelphia. Like, you just don't do that versus the really good offensive teams. I got a lot of tight ends hitting your flex spots this week. It's wild that, tight ends can hit the flex, as I've been saying all offseason. Like, you don't you don't necessarily want them to, but taking 2 good tight ends or taking 3 scrub tight ends is a good way to kind of get your floor up. All right, so now we'll move on over and we'll look at the other lineups I had that cashed. I don't know why it backed all the way out. So this lineup was it was Josh Allen, Achane, Bijan. Well, that was like my core this week. Mike Evans did me dirty. T. Higgins did me even dirtier. I also had Derrick Henry on this one. If I had the wide receiver rooms flopped, basically, I would have won basically first and second. Or first and ninth. Also, calling the timeout 30 seconds was not funny. Yeah. What's up, Devin? Glad to see the league MVP defend. Yeah. Man, Pepper Tony's if you don't like this, you don't like Ravens football. And he's right. That's what they do. They choke. And they only do it in big spots, like primetime games, stuff like that. But generally, the Ravens dominate regular season big games. I almost put an unfathomable amount on Derrick Henry to score a touchdown last night. I wish I would have. As the game was coming closer, I'm like, man, I don't see how it doesn't happen. Yeah, so this team, I crushed those positions. I crushed the flex, got a good tight end score, hit Ricky P, had 2 pretty dead spots there that cost me pretty big. That team had 149 points, and if I'd have got 5 more, it wasn't going to make a ton of money unless I nailed the same receivers I had here, unless I hit the Zay Flowers, right? Another one of the cashing lineups I had, shocker again, Achane and Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Achane, McCaffrey, London, Neighbors, and Tet McMillan. Neighbors, 5 for 71. It didn't feel like he done much, but he kind of got there. Kittle, bad run out for anybody who had Kittle yesterday. I feel bad for Gritty cashing out. Oh, did he? I almost cashed out that parlay I had. It was Keon Coleman touchdown, Derrick Henry touchdown, and Ravens to cover the spread. And when it was down, whenever the Bills were down 8, I looked and I could have cashed it for 85% of the winnings. So I basically lost. I could have cashed out the $10 bet, paid out $150 at win. I could have cashed out for $135, and I didn't. But the Ravens had to completely Ravens that game for that to happen. I never was. I was just curious what it was. I was making sure that I'd hit the other legs, basically. I was like, oh, I can cash it out for this much. I'm like, nah, they can't lose this. That's why I said to Pepper Tony that it was probably my fault that they lost. Another cashing lineup, Lamar, Bijan, Achane. Achane and Bijan was my core. Achane got there kind of luckily at the end of the game. Also, really like Puka and Neighbors. Neighbors, if he would have got a touchdown, which obviously that increases everybody by a lot, but like he had a solid game. He was basically right at his projection. Ricky Pearsall, Andrews did me very dirty here. Like that was my worst lineup, and that would have just kind of put it up with the other ones. But James Conner. All right, so now to my bags. We got we'll start with the RBs. Jarquez Hunter, healthy scratch, not good. Will Shipley, hurt with no information on it yet. Taj Brooks, I didn't see him get a single carry. Eckler was good. Rashad White, his usage was not good from what I seen. That's one of the games I got through. Tootin looks like he's going to be good. Like it looks like when he got in, he flashed. It was Carolina's rush defense. All 4 running backs look fine. But it does kind of look like Tootin like really did flash. ETN kind of ran through some wide open holes. He made one or two really good plays, but it looked like everything was blocked for him very well. Hampton went up against KC's defense. Didn't expect much from him week 1. He didn't look great, but he didn't look bad either. He just never really had rushing lanes. James Conner, dog, Brees Hall, that feels really good right now. Although most of those shares are in the third. I had 16% whenever the usage started happening, and I took him a little bit in the 5th, but not that often. Tajay, that's still up in the air. Pacheco doesn't feel great. I still believe that Pacheco will be the lead back most of the season. But he didn't do anything week 1. Well, jury's still out on Jordan Mason. Judkins, we got really good news there. I started buying in again at the end. Brashard Smith, so Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is listed day to day, and he's going to try to play without getting surgery. So, is what I heard. So, hopefully that is true. If that's not true, Brashard Smith, I think we'll see an increased role, but that's just a guess. Dobbins was good. Giddens got in for a little bit. Taylor went out of the game, but is fine. Pollard, Denver's defense is insane. Braylon Allen was awesome. Algier got a lot of touches. I feel pretty good about all this. What I don't feel good about is Krosky Merritt, 3.6%. I basically faded him whenever he went all the way up. Whenever he was going in the 140s, 1 to 130s, I took some shares of him. I mixed him in at a very small amount early on. This is more than I thought I was going to have, but I only have $57 on him. So it's all in lower dollar contests. He looked really good. I was more in on Chris Rodriguez there at the end. You don't see it here, but on DraftKings, I took a bunch of them. I still think that Eckler and Merritt will both be the guys. Zach Ertz, awesome. But yeah, Bill could be a death nail to me. Kyron Williams got all the carries again. Hunter being a healthy scratch kind of shocked me. The Puka Adams feels awesome. That feels like it's the right way to do it. Higbee was in for most of the game. That feels fine as well. Other players like Javonte, I just don't see that happening again. Rico Dowdle had 1,000 yards last year and only ended up with 2 touchdowns because of that offense. I think that Jalen Carter going out of the game completely tanked their offense or their defensive plans, and the rookie would have not done well against Jalen Carter. But them getting the short yardage touchdowns, really good for Javonte. My prediction is that the Javante thing is going to be like the Bill stuff. I think is going to be sticky and stay. The Javante stuff, I feel like he'll have 2 or 3 big spikes, and that'll be it. And he'll put up like a bunch of 4, 5, 6 points weeks, and be kind of like Isaiah Likely was last year. That's Jaden Blue wasn't healthy. Yeah, and he didn't do anything. He ran through holes, and that was it. Like he never like really cut. Didn't like it. He did nothing that scared me. Is what I'll say. Like I can be wrong. Like he could continue to just have a great offensive line in front of him, right? Like that could happen. Here, this felt pretty good. Justin Herbert, 13.5% feels good. Jaden at 14.2 and Lamar, like that feels awesome. Fields overweight also feels really good. Mahomes overweight, I don't know about that. But like Drake May, offensive line didn't look as good as we were hoping. Who knows what happens there? Like he'll have some big games, he'll have some bad games. Bryce Young, that game was wild. Like he got a bunch of high snaps. They had a long wait. It kind of felt like after the big delay that the Panthers offense as a whole just didn't work very well. And like it kind of felt that way with Jacksonville too, because if I have the timing right, like after the delay is where Lawrence started missing BTJ on throws a lot, because pretty much every time he targeted BTJ and only BTJ, the throw was like way off. So back to the quarterbacks. We'll go down to the bottom of the list. Aaron Rodgers looked very good. Like he may end up being the steal of the drafts. We'll get into what I thought about the game tomorrow with Steve. Dak, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that. Daniel Jones, that could be too low. I'll tell you what's too high. That's Anthony Richardson at 6.8%. But we were shooting for upside. Joe Burrow, I still feel fine about being underweight on him. I tried to push him a lot. The Josh Allen at 5.2, I still think that Lamar's the better bet for the entire season. Yes, Josh Allen was like he could be quarterback one any week, but I have five. I think 5% enough. Hurts also like somehow he scored 2 rushing touchdowns and still only put up like 21 points. Darnold, I wish I wouldn't have started getting in on him later because that offensive line did not look good. So there's those bags. We'll go to tight end real quick. Mason Taylor, that's a late season play. Mark Andrews only had the one, like I think he only had one catch. But like we know that that's going to work out eventually. Just like Zach Ertz, like hopefully this works out. Bowers went out with the leg injury, and the coaches said that he wanted to go back into the game. It was scary though because he literally like was on a route and like stopped mid route non-contact, and then kind of looked down and then went off the field himself. But like something happened and it was non-contact, and non-contact is always very scary. Hunter Henry feels good. Drake May definitely targeted the tight ends a bunch. Jatavius Sanders, that could be a bad decision. We will see how that works out. Players I'm a little low on that could hurt me. Cade Otton did not like. I think he got 1 target, maybe. I only remember 1 target. I just watched that game a little while ago. So back to quarterbacks. The Bo Nix, like I watched that entire game. He did not look good. He did not look good at all. I don't know if he was nervous, if it was what was going on, but he did not look good. I think it was a lot of Tennessee's defensive line. getting to them because their front four, their interior pass rush is actually really good. Nobody talks about them though. So the Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden thing. I have 1.8% Reed. I was low on him before the injury stuff, but like he looked awesome out there. Like Jaden Reed looked very good. I am a little worried about the Matthew Golden stuff, but I do. This was always a play post week 5. They have a week 5 bye week, so that feels fine. The Marshawn Lloyd doesn't feel fine. And by the way, if you're just popping in, please smash the like. We got Tucker Kraft at 7.2. I really liked him. I wish I would have got more. I started smashing Colston Loveland at the end over him every time. Savion, we'll see what happens with him. When Bidet is getting 6 targets, you know things aren't great. Yeah, exactly. Their offensive line is supposed to be really good. And week 3 of preseason, the Broncos had the Saints looked really good defensively against them, and then week 1 against the Titans defense looks pretty good against their front. So I'm jury's still kind of out there. We'll see what happens. Like last year, they don't really have anything different with their offensive line, and they were really, really good last year. I think it's a lack of play this year, and after the first few weeks, they'll get everything ironed out and be playing at a very, very good level. But yeah, the Jaden Reed thing could absolutely cook me. Jaden Higgins got a chance. He let a ball go through for an interception. He was fine for a rookie week 1. Pat Bryant, I haven't got to that game to watch the entire game yet. I haven't seen if he got routes or not. But Diggs felt fine. He got 5 receptions, 50 yards. Like that's perfectly fine. Puka, I feel very good about my 15% Puka. Of all the wide receivers at the back end, he was the only one that really performed enough. Like Drake London didn't. I'm overweight on all of them, but like Puka was the one I liked the most. Nico wasn't great. Neighbors was okay. And BTJ had a very bad game but got bailed out on a rushing touchdown. So a lot of those guys weren't great. So for my bag specifically, Devontae Smith did nothing. Rashee Rice isn't there till week 7. Mooney was out week 1. Addison out for 3 weeks. And then where's Worthy at? Worthy's up here somewhere. Oh, right here. And Worthy went out first play of the game. I was using Worthy as an early season play to get me through Mooney, Adams, and Jordan Addison. So if Worthy can't play the next couple weeks, I'm probably in bad shape overall because I use that a lot. A player I continually talked about, but I didn't draft a whole lot, was Quentin Johnston. I really liked him. I don't know. I kept not just kind of went over that a little bit ago. But I think that the Packers look awesome. Tomorrow we'll go more in depth. Steve Schaub will be on with me. We go live at 2 p.m. Central, and we're going to go game by game over everything. You go over usage, and what we've been doing is I take the away team, he takes the home team, and we just discuss what our takeaways were, and we go through every game on the slate. If you want to know that, tune in tomorrow. But the Packers looked awesome. They look like, and the Lions, every fear that's out there could come true, right? So hopefully, I'm curious what Steve thinks. Haven't talked to him about it yet. So Cedric Tillman had a good game. Pearsall feels good. Hollywood feels awesome right now. Well, yeah, like I only had like 5% whenever I was saying that he was a good pick. And whenever he was going in the 190s because of a concussion, like at worst, he was out 2 weeks. Uh, I started taking him a bunch again. I have quite a bit of QJ in the DraftKings stuff, and I have quite a bit of QJ in Sprint, I believe. Yeah, I do like I haven't got to that game specifically to watch it, so I'm going to reserve all my judgments. All I've seen is what was on Red Zone. Uh, I'm through about half of the week right now. Interior O line needs to gel. Yes, absolutely. Uh, we have too many receivers. Man, curious to see how Golden does. Yeah, I'm in on Golden. He's my number one wide receiver. Uh, so we are in for that. Jaden Reed playing through that injury, like the Jones fracture that may not be a Jones fracture, like that could be getting Jaden Reed in the 130s could end up being like what wins BBM if all that's true. Like I never hated him as a player. I've always liked him as a player. I just didn't like the situation with a round 1 and round 3 player coming in. Dontavian Wicks was the one I always thought was a zero. I just thought with the capital the Packers spent at wide receiver that the Jaden Reed price should have been like 3 rounds later is all. Which maybe I'm a fool. I mean, I will be a fool about several things. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Is the golden bet was always like it was like yes he could start off fast, but like week 5 is their buy, early buy. Like that's one reason I got very into Colston Loveland at the end. They also have week 5 buy. Um, but yeah, so Cedric Tillman looked really good. Kyle Williams, I'm watching that game right now. I'm at halftime. I haven't seen anything at all. And yeah, what's up, Fantasy Dog? It's hard for me to realize that I don't have much of. They don't score points. It's a good thing. Yeah. Green Bay is very much the socialist red line at wide receiver. We knew it would be. Yep. Yeah, it's like they're going to be a best ball wide receiver room. They're going to put up 2, 3, 4, 5 points and then 18. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen all season, and you're going to have to get used to it. McConkey looked awesome. Adonai Mitchell worked in like that. That's a game I'm interested to discuss tomorrow. Godwin says he's eyeing week 5 return. That would be good. Very good for me. I have a bag of Justin Jefferson, so we'll see how that plays out tonight. So, like Minnesota, we'll look through Minnesota. I have a lot of Minnesota's passing game. That's one of my bigger bets this year. I went double on Mason and basically a blanket on Aaron Jones. And then the Bears, I don't have a ton of. I have a bunch of the like I'm almost at field with Burden. I'm very overweight on Loveland. Only some Caleb, Rome, and DJ Moore. Like I don't want to get smoked by him. I could get smoked by DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson keeps saying that he really likes him. We'll see how that ends up playing out. I could just have been wrong there. Keon Coleman, he got bailed out, but like Josh Allen targeted him a lot. I haven't looked at the numbers. I'll look at it tomorrow, but that looked really good. Igbuka, 9.3. Like if you're underweight Igbuka right now, you have to feel pretty bad because that was a very, very clean performance by Igbuka. Kind of like being low on Bill. You have to be a little worried. Packers barely passed in the second half, so game script played a role. Got it. Yeah, like I said, I haven't got to that game yet, but I will. Pretty overweight Vikings and Bears. I did good at quarterback, tight end, running back. None of my high exposure. Yeah, I don't know what I want tonight. Um, that hurt. Jamar Chase. Like, I did predict that. Like, so the Browns, for all intents and purposes, should have won that game. Like, absolutely, they should have won that game. I did say that I liked the under in that. I just thought the over would be a little higher. I didn't make the bet, but I was correct on that. Yeah, D Hop actually looked really good. He did not look like that last year at KC, so I wish bad things upon him. He also pushed off on that touchdown. If you pay attention to it, he full extended his arm like he always does, and then caught the ball one handed because that's the only move he knows. Like, I mean, you could just go watch it. I'm not just being a hater. It is a fact. Juwan Jennings went out of the game hurt. He's getting an MRI today. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, like, you can't deny what happened. Kevontae Turpin, I feel awesome about the low owned 6.7%. He had a ton. He was in on a ton of plays and got 4 touches. And he is absolutely going to be a big part of that offense. You can tell already. So anybody who was along like fantasy dog here, the Turpin usage felt really, really good. I'm glad I thought my stone fade on Debo because he looked really good too. Okay, so that did come out. Oh, got it. I'm assuming, yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked to see that. All I know is that the Worthy news came out that they're going to see if he can play this week. So he's not ruled out for this week yet. Bag defense. Got it. So the one player that is very, very live to dominate this year is actually Harold Fannin. Like, I did watch that game, and my Lord, he was everywhere. They had him, and we'll talk about tomorrow too, but they always kept saying that, like, he was only a receiver. They had him on the interior runs at the goal line, coming in on motion and taking on defensive tackles, and he was actually doing well in those blocks. So Harold Fannin is here to stay. That is for sure. Yeah, like, that is for sure. He is here to stay. He had such a good game. Like, watching that game, he outperformed every player on both teams, like, in the way he, like, in my eyes. Like, he just looked like one of the best players on the field, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were on that same field. I mean, Myles Garrett looked like the single best player on the field. Yeah, that would be awesome. We have nor does any other streamer talk about the third string running backs. Yeah. Well, Martinez being active was expected. Jaden Blue, I think, is still hurt. Jarquez Hunter was also inactive. And Chris Rodriguez was an absolute shock to me. I could not believe that Rodriguez was hurt or was out. So that's my bags. I will go to this real quick. We'll share this tab. For the first quarter stuff, I'm currently advancing 7 of 30 entries and 5 of 16 entries. With a bunch of Mason, Hawkinson, Thielen, McCarthy, Jones, Jefferson, and no Bears, basically. I don't expect to end up advancing that many of them, but like right now, it feels like I have in this one, like I have a couple of them that are way up there. 165 points on that one. I think that one's advanced. 139 should be good to advance. I have some that are close. This one probably safe. This one not. This one also safe probably. This one probably not safe. Let's see what I have. I have no Bears. Yeah, so that one's live to get lost. That one's showing that I'm winning, but I am not. We have Zacchaeus. We have a Zacchaeus share here that we're looking for. And then that one also looks pretty live to be good. So it looks like I might get 6 of these 30 in. That would be pretty awesome if that happens. And then the other first quarter, that one looks live to win. That one looks live. Let's see. Chris Rodriguez with Rashee Rice. Don't think he's going to do any good. This one still has Hawkinson to go, so that one's probably live. First by a few points here. Daniel Jones with the 29 points. Not Steve Shoup, but there's only one of him. Thank goodness. McNichols got some real snap. Yeah, he did. Like I do need to go back and watch that whole game. I think it's the next one on the list. I didn't have enough Josh Allen. I had like 18% advance rate on DK. Then I'm down. I mean, like advance rate after week 1 doesn't matter unless it's this contest where it is a week 1 you advance to week 3 or week 2. Yeah, so this one I do have Thielen. So it might be live. And on this one, looks like it's probably dead because I'm only up by 0.3. And there's a bunch of teams down here with probably people to go. But if I advance 4 of 16, I'll be very happy. And then if I advance 6 of the 30, I'll be very happy. The Elim, I haven't went through all of them and looked. We could just look at exposures. I think I had like Tillman had a decent day. Like if you look at these exposures, it's probably not great. Demario Douglas somehow got 0 yards with a touchdown. Figure that out. Yeah, so like I was doing the math. I think I'm going to advance like 30-ish teams of the 75, 32, 33 teams out of 75, which won't feel that bad with the Rashee Rice 17% and the Judkins 10%. So I also had a lot of Mooney, had 12% Mooney, and a bunch of Worthy as well, 13% Worthy. So like if I get to 35 of 75 teams, I'm perfectly fine. Like if I just get 30 of 75 out of this, I'm actually happy with how some of this stuff played out. Gibbs, also my highest exposed player, was a dud. So yeah, we need some luck there tonight. Like if we go to Bears, I have a bunch of Rome, a bunch of Loveland, and a decent amount of Swift. In Minnesota, I assume I have Actually, I don't have as much. That's weird because I'm over on Jordan Mason in every other format, and I'm way over on Hawkinson in most. So I must have just punted tight end on all these, but the Thielen feels really good. 30% Pearsall and Tyler Warren. Yeah, and speaking of that one, we'll go back to this. I ended up getting up to 7.7. I was at like 5% for a while. So hopefully, like Tyler Warren, just like Harold Fannin, looked like he may have just been the best player on the field that day. So anyway, we are going to go to drafters, and I will go ahead and gloss over it again. Some of you weren't here, but I ended up getting here we go. I ended up getting 7th out of 3,300 people on this for 170, and Big Draft Energy got 8th. By the way, 0-0 got 16th. He had a hell of a lineup here. He had Josh Allen, A-Chain, Henry. He got sunk by Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae still had a fine game. But if that would have been like JSN, he would have been up there above me. Chuba, Bowers. So like 0 doing some work. Big Draft Energy did some work. I did decent. I looked down through here. This Beretta James guy done a ton of them. I don't know if they ended up winning or not. So yeah, I got a 7th, 158, 349, 382, and 559. I also had one near the bottom of everything. Let's look at that one. Yeah, Disco also. My Joe Flacco team. The Joe Flacco team shockingly didn't win. But we're going to go to the lobby here, and we're going to do – oh, I guess it filled. They had a $5 – I did one. And here it is. It's I was hoping I could do one on stream. We'll go to Underdog, I guess. Caleb Williams, Josh Jacobs, McLaurin, Rome, Cole Kmet. If you look at the draft, and then Austin Eckler. If you look at the draft, I was hoping I could push. I was hoping that this player would take Zach Ertz over Loveland, and I could push him back. But I could see Cole Kmet having a decent week 1. Loveland is a rookie. But like, I felt like building out that stack with Caleb was the best way to possibly push this into a bigger win. I do like Ertz will be on all the squads. Cole Kmet will probably be drafted only like probably 40-50%. I would like as a random guess. I don't know. He was the 5th tight end listed, so he is getting drafted, just not all the time. Week 1, it kind of makes sense for the 2 that had a connection last year to still have it. But we will go over here to Underdog then, and we will look at 2-minute drills, the Sunday late slate. We'll do a. I haven't looked at the matchups yet. Is there a $3? There we go. There's a $3. We're gonna try the primetime hurry up. I think if it's still open. Let's see where it is. Oh, the Wildcat's open now too. The hurry ups here. That's the one I like. So the $5 open. We'll do the $5 bash. It's single entry. Anybody who wants in, I'm going to enter in 10 seconds. This is the single entry primetime bash going now. If you want in, you can get in. I haven't looked at the slate for next week, but I might go ahead and jump. So I will say that over on Drafters, or so on Underdog, I did one earlier. And here it is. It was a playbook last night. It already filled. Christian McCaffrey went late. Like he went at I got him pick 5. So, and then I pulled up Connor later. I took naked Drake May versus Miami because their offense looked really bad. So I went McCaffrey, Brian Thomas versus Cincinnati, came back around. I took Trey McBride versus Carolina. And then on the way back, I took Connor and Tet McMillan. Or I took Trey and Connor, I think, together. And then it comes back and I take Tet and Drake May or something. All right, so we get the 2, Sladen at the 1, Coolers in the 4. Good luck to everybody. I think the top 2 picks are these 2. Yeah, why are we doing this to ourselves? It's the single entry. We can have some fun. I think that the first 3 picks are by far the best here, and the 4th pick is not very good. So, like, I don't know. I might have fun with the single entry. Draft starts now. Which one does Sladen want? Does he want Jefferson or does he want Jacobs? I personally like one of them more than the other. I will tell you once you are done. I only did 2 drafts, but Sprite. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm wanting to get some in. I think Josh Jacobs should be the 101. The other RBs, like it goes from Josh Jacobs to Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, JCM, and Eckler, and Jordan Mason. Like all of these other guys, like maybe Swift has a standalone role, but everyone else is in a committee, right? Josh Jacobs is not in the committee. He's in a better offense. He's in a really good offense. And the Commanders' defense isn't known to be elite. I know they looked elite versus Russell Wilson, but so Zarkanu makes the correct decision there, in my opinion, and Coolers has to try to make stuff up. Oh, for the Sunday slate? Well, he ended up going later because of the worry, right? Coolers auto drafts there? Or is he just trying to figure out what he wants to do? I do think that Swift should probably be the 4th pick there. I agree with his decision there. Just smacked my hand. Felt great. I don't. Oh. My bad. My bad. I do. You're right. This feels like eating vegetables while high. All right, so I'm going to try to build something out here. So we're going to do that. The more I was thinking about it, I kind of like Jordan Love versus Washington a lot. Yeah, and Jacobs is easy 101 for me. I think it's pretty obvious. I got him at 3 on the drafters one I done today. On the drafters, like I got him at 103, and I like that team. Sweet. Tucker Kraft was the player I wanted, so I want to double stack this. I think Love has a decent chance to be the best quarterback on this slate versus the Commanders. the thing is I guess give me a rookie quarterback and his tight end safety blanket. I mean, so what just happened there? Like Cooler's just got as lucky as he can because all the quarterbacks are gone, so he doesn't have to take one. And he's got Swift already stacked up, so he can just build out that game if he wants. So he'll probably take like Rome or DJ Moore, whichever one he likes more here, maybe both. But I would assume that like I know what I would do if I was him. Yeah, so he takes DJ Moore. Yeah, I like if I were you, Slayton, I probably would have taken Hawkinson and not McCarthy, assuming Coolers was going to build out that game. So question is Jaden Reed really he didn't practice today? I think I want Eckler here. Yeah. Yeah, we want Eckler. Give him Rome. And then we will go with like probably I don't really want to go with Jaden Reed. I guess I will. I kind of just like doing that, honestly, but we need two pass catchers if we have Jordan Love. So I like that's the thing for me. I think if you take Jordan Love in one of these, you need at least two pass catchers. I don't see him outscoring Jaden Daniels, McCarthy, and or Caleb Williams, who all have some rushing, unless he gets two different touchdowns from multiple pass catchers. I never do the short slate stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, you'll like pick 4 really sucks. Like it is not fun. Surprised he didn't take oh, he's gonna take Loveland here. That's perfect. He didn't. He took Zach Ertz. That's interesting. So do I just do that? Or do I Yeah, I think I just take Jordan Mason here. Call it good. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. And I was hoping Zach Ertz made it to me. I was going to take Ertz and Kraft. I didn't want Loveland here. Like I'm glad I got Mason over, and I like the Menungai pick there. So anybody who wants, I am going to look at. I was going to do a Wildcat just to kind of see the ADP, and I'll enter in 10 seconds. I'm going to do two of these or something, and then log off. I was just going to jump on for about an hour today, do a little bit. I'm going to finish watching a couple of the games, and then so we are waiting on one. I haven't even looked at the slate. Man, this running back slate is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Jamar Chase, 101 in this week. Derek, This is my 101, 102 in order. Let's look at the quarterbacks. All three of the elites are here, and it's 6 people. Like, I'm probably going to push quarterback. Drake May gets Miami, which I really like. And where does Fields gets Buffalo? He'll be pushing for points. That's a bad offense as well. So, like, I feel like you can just push quarterback if you happen to get Lamar, Josh Allen, or Hurts in like the 4th round. Take them, but I don't think that they should be valued that much over the rest of the field. Myself, with all the rushing upside that we have, and Kyler gets Carolina, Trevor Lawrence against Cincinnati. Like, some of this feels really good. So, yeah. Well, Coolers, congratulations on Jamar Chase at 3. We got Coolers at the 103, and I'm at the 102. That has to feel good having Jamar there. We're all just here to hold hands and pray as a group for Worthy's health. Absolutely. I could probably ask Davis Maddock to start the prayer circle, and he'd probably be up for it. So, yeah, the running backs on this slate, like the ones I like are deeper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you take Henry over. Surprised you didn't take Brian Thomas for the Chase bring back. So I'm just gonna pull up James Conner. The Carolina matchup's too good. Like, I don't care. I just want James Conner. I know that Coolers knows what he's doing, and Coolers might have taken, like, there's no way that James Conner makes it past 22, in my opinion. Here's the funniest stat of the day. Jared Goff has had 5 different play callers in his career under the 3 not named Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. He's 0-19-1. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, so you would have pushed Burrow there and not taken Connor. Yeah. Connor, to me, is like RB4 on this slate. Maybe higher. Like, it's CMC1. Then it might be Connor. Like, it may just be Connor too. Jonathan Taylor gets a bad matchup there. Looks like I get Jalen Hurts at the 4. People will be scared of A.J. Brown, but I will take A.J. Brown. Absolutely. This is working out quite nicely. Now we just need a tight end. Oh, he plays. I mean, maybe. Let's look in the depths for the tight ends. Britton Strange is probably a pretty good one. We could do that. Tyler Warren versus Denver is probably good. Kittle, except for MRI on the hamstring. Juwan Johnson had a monstrous game too. Trey Benson, RB4. Hold on now. Yeah, I think I like the the headless Jacksonville stack feels fine. Britton Strange got insane usage. If he wants him, he could take him. Cooler should probably take Britton Strange for the bring back on his game. Like he really should. And I think I might just double stack it and call it good. Yeah, let's just do the rare double stack Jalen Hurts team. So we got Jalen Hurts, CMC, Connor, Brian Thomas, AJ Brown, Dallas Goddard. I like this team. Let's look at what Cooler's done. He got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tet McMillan, who I think is a really good pick here. Gibbs, Taylor, Taylor, like I'm scared of him this week, but I'm not going to have a zero. And Britton Strange, I think, was the correct pick. That another really good team by him. One more Wildcat, and then I am out. We will enter in 10 seconds. And I will be ready to do some DFS lineups. I didn't do very good in the DFS stuff. I had one. I only did 5 lineups. One of them cashed. It min cashed. Thinking about why I never liked the way T-Law looks at quarterback. He looked pretty clean this week, I thought. He just when he targeted the seam, like the out routes and stuff, he tended to sail the ball. And so I don't know. Like I'm wondering if he's just never going to really develop, but I don't know. I do not know why, but yeah, something looked a little off. But I will say that run game absolutely dominated. Coolers at the 5. Say goodbye to James Conner and any fun to me. We got I think the 4 hole was in the last draft at the 3 hole. I am not sure, but I haven't picked back here yet. I mean, I'm not going to get CMC. I would be happy with this. CD, Brian Thomas. I do think that Trey McBride's a target this week as well. So these are like looking at all the tight ends. I think Trey McBride, like you look at the projection, he projects for 3.5 more points than anybody else. Like that's huge. You look at CMC, and he projects similarly by underdog. I'm going to assume other places will have it different. And then wide receiver, it's kind of the guys you would expect. So, like, I think I'm going to actually move McBride all the way up and target him for this and hopefully do a McBride Tetaroa bring back, I would hope. Josh Allen goes at the 3. Jalen Milroe at the 4. This is going to get thrown out. Yep. Well, this one ain't going to survive, but let's have fun with it. Yeah, let's. Coolers is like, well, it's getting thrown out anyway, so I won't take Jamar Chase. Yeah, that's a pick. Jalen Waddle. I believe that was the same guy who's in the last one. Let me look. Oh, you can't see the teams, can you? You have to screenshot it. Crossing my fingers for week 17, Nick Mullins. He chucks it at least. Yeah, so but after this, I will be done. Tomorrow, I will be back on with Steve. We will be doing game-by-game breakdowns once again. We'll go over usage a little bit, kind of discuss what we both saw in the games. There's a couple games and things that I definitely want to discuss. Absolutely. And the Trevor Lawrence thing is one of them. Like, he seemed to be on target for anything under like 15 yards. And everything and every time he went to Brian Thomas Jr. for whatever reason, it was just off. Like, I'm not even saying Josh Allen at 3 is a bad pick, but the Jalen Milroe, I don't know how you get there. Like, and if you get there, how you don't just take him at 33 every draft. So we'll do the fun thing. Coolers knows I'm not going to take Jalen Hurts again, so he doesn't have to worry about it. We'll just go ahead and double stack this up. We're just going to go onslaught wide receiver there. Hell, if Tet makes it back, we'll take him too. I mean, Connor is the pick if Connor makes it. Absolutely. So I don't mind the Tet there. I just managed to get a decent DFS lineup for next week with Saquon, Henry, and CMC over on Drafters. I guess we could do – are the Drafters weeklies up? Oh, you mean for the daily slates? I have not looked yet at next week's DFS, so I am not sure. Sam Laporta. Okay, DraftKings, got it. I got huge Milroe shares on Underdog. I got a bunch in Superflex for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I had like 15% Milroe in Superflex. And that's something I want to talk to Steve about is the Seattle offensive line. Like, I started taking some more Seattle after the first few when KC played basically their whole defense and dominated us on the offensive line. Like, I thought positive things, but they got destroyed against San Francisco's front. Some people think it's because San Francisco's front's really good. I'm going to lean towards what I was thinking for the last 6 months before preseason started, and that maybe their offensive line just isn't that good. And if their offensive line isn't that good, then Sam Darnold is going to see some ghost. Question is, do I want to take – I do think that this is one of those situations where I could just take 3 wide receivers. I'm definitely taking Connor. What else do I want? We'll just take Connor and Cook. We'll just bet on James Cook, who scores touchdowns every game now. So Joe Burrow, James Conner, James Cook, the double stack, and Trey McBride. If I play Joe Burrow and a double stack like that falls to me, I might as well take it. This draft's getting thrown out anyway, so why not? Like, I don't know what it takes to get thrown out, but I'm guessing that Jalen Milroe at 4 and Ty Johnson on the same roster is probably one that gets thrown out. And it probably should be. But anyway, so Seattle has Darnold and Milroe active. When did I like? So it depends on when it was. Yeah, Calvin Austin looks really good right now. I was in on Calvin Austin and Big Board, but they didn't really use him at all during like the preseason and stuff, and like they kept talking about Roman Wilson and never really mentioning Austin. And all the reports were really good on Roman Wilson, but when the game happened, Calvin Austin came back out and played like he did last year. So, but anyway, I'm going to head out, get ready. I'm going to start doing some daily lineups on DraftKings. I usually do the $5 single showdown and then like 5 to 10 of the 50-cent mini max. But probably going to listen to some Neil Orfield for those of you who like DFS and don't watch Neil Orfield. You should. He's shipped a millie before. He goes through a lot of the sims. And I like the way that his stream works. But anyway, I will see everybody tomorrow, 4 p.m. or 2 p.m. Central. Peace.